Once upon a time, in the most dysfunctional family tree you've ever seen, there was a dad who was a spy, a mom who was a killer, and a daughter with superpowers. They were like the ultimate version of a home security system. You break into their house, you either end up poisoned, interrogated, or telepathically read. It was like living with James Bond, Black Widow, and Professor X, but they had no clue about each other's secret identities. Now Dad, codenamed Twilight, had a new mission: infiltrate Eden Academy, an exclusive school for the elite. The catch: you had to have the perfect family to enroll your kid there. It's like trying to get into the Avengers, but with more PTA meetings. So Twilight, ever the resourceful spy, decided to create the perfect family in just 1 week. He rented a fancy house and disguised himself as a psychiatrist, but to get past the school's rigorous requirements, he needed to adopt a child. Now the orphanage was in a hurry to get rid of their most mischievous troublemaker, Anya. Little did they know, she was like your typical kid. She had telepathic superpowers acquired through a secret experiment. Anya had been dying to get adopted and use her mind-reading abilities to cheat on the intelligence test. She was a shoo-in, passing with flying colors. Anya quickly realized that her new dad, Twilight, was a spy. This girl loved watching spy cartoons and was more excited than a squirrel at a nut convention. So Twilight, the spy who couldn't say no, started giving her lessons on all things espionage. It was like Spy School 101, taught by a real secret agent. The twist in this already twisted tale was that there was an interview at Eden Academy that even James Bond would have struggled to pass as a single parent. So our dad spy needed to find a woman willing to raise a child and get married pronto. Enter Yor, who was tired of being single and ready to mingle. In her day job, she worked for the government, but little did anyone know, she moonlighted as an assassin. Talk about a complicated dating profile. It was a match made in heaven, or more accurately, a match made in a top-secret underground lair. Yor's life was a real roller coaster. Her colleagues kept teasing her about being single, and her little brother Yuri was like a broken record, endlessly urging her to find a partner. One day during a mission, she accidentally ruined her dress right before a party. Desperate for a quick fix, she raced to the tailor shop where fate had a little surprise in store. At the tailor shop, she crossed paths with Twilight, who was in the middle of a clothes shopping mission with Anya. They both saw something special in each other, which was, well, unusual for people with such secret lives. Anya, always the clever telepath, picked up on their mutual interest and promptly declared her desire for a mother. In this whirlwind of a moment, Yor, with a mischievous glint in her eye, asked Twilight to be her temporary boyfriend for the upcoming party. In return, she agreed to pretend to be Anya's mother during the school admission interview that was just around the corner. However, as fate loves to throw a wrench into the works, Twilight got assigned a last-minute mission to eliminate an enemy just before the party. With no time to clean up the mess, he arrived at the party covered in blood. When asked what had happened, he spun a wild tale about meeting a crazy patient earlier, leaving Yor impressed by his apparent gentleness. Little did she know that Crazy Patient was actually his latest mission. The party turned out to be a turning point for both Twilight and Yor. Yor, still swooning over Twilight's act of kindness, began to entertain the idea of marrying him. For Twilight, who also needed a wife as part of his elaborate plan, it seemed like a win-win situation, so he readily agreed. But Twilight wasn't the kind of guy to settle for a simple proposal. Instead, he casually tossed a grenade to deal with the enemy, nonchalantly handing the pull tab to Yor as a makeshift ring. Love in the time of espionage, right? Once the dust settled, they swiftly obtained a marriage license and Yor officially moved into Twilight and Anya's household. Anya, with her telepathic abilities, discovered Yor's secret life as a killer and couldn't be more thrilled about their unconventional family dynamics. So there you have it, a family like no other, featuring a spy, a killer, and a telepathic child. With the team now assembled, Twilight decided to get back to the task at hand, cracking the Eden Academy admission interview. Armed with his newly acquired partner in crime, marriage, he began to meticulously prepare, listing all the ways to deal with unexpected situations in the hope of successfully navigating the rigorous interview. After all, even spies need a little help from their killer spouses to tackle parenthood's greatest challenges. Twilight's family's performance during the Eden Academy interview was so convincing that the teacher practically gave them a standing ovation. During the question and answer session, Anya, with her superpowers, effortlessly provided the correct answers yet again, and she sailed through the interview with ease. It wasn't long before the official admission letter for Anya arrived. To celebrate this major achievement, Twilight prepared a grand dinner and invited his colleague, the one who had helped him collect information. They all gathered around the dinner table, where Twilight promised to fulfill one of Anya's wishes. Anya, with the innocence of a child and a penchant for spy cartoons, expressed her desire to be the princess saved by a spy in a castle. To make this dream come true, Twilight concocted a daring plan that involved the spy organization renting an amusement park castle and deploying a team of actors to play the roles of menacing thugs. This, of course, came with a hefty price tag, and Twilight had to face the wrath of his superior for his extravagant request. To add insult to injury, the superior also gave Twilight a laundry list of do's and don'ts for the next phase of his mission, reminding him that saving princesses doesn't come cheap. Anya's enrollment in Eden Academy was a step in the right direction, but Twilight still faced the challenge of getting close to the elusive Chairman Desmond. The chairman only attended social meetings of superior students' parents, and to reach that status, Anya needed to collect 8 Stella stars. However, watching Anya struggle with her studies, Twilight decided to explore alternative methods to achieve their goal. Meanwhile, a group of thugs, recognizing Anya's distinctive Eden Academy uniform, hatched a plan to kidnap her, hoping to secure a hefty ransom due to Yor's deadly reputation as a top killer. Unbeknownst to them, Yor was more than just a skilled assassin. She was also a vigilant mother. She quickly spotted the thugs' suspicious movements and gave chase. In no time, the would-be kidnappers found themselves outmatched and quaking in their boots. Anya, unimpressed with the thugs' incompetence, asked Yor to teach her martial arts. This moment was a turning point for Yor, who had been concerned about her ability to be a good mother. After receiving Anya's praise and admiration for her martial prowess, Yor made up her mind to teach her daughter how to defend herself, ensuring that their unique family was well prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. Twilight, determined to get close to Desmond, hatches another plan. He arranges for Anya to be in the same class as Desmond's youngest son, Damien, with the hope of using this connection to approach the chairman. Anya, with her telepathic abilities, gets wind of Twilight's plan and eagerly offers her assistance in the mission. As they both enter the school, Anya starts to look for opportunities to connect with Damien, who, like many young nobles, has grown up with a healthy dose of arrogance. Damien, considering Anya as nothing more than a doctor's child, looks down on her, even going so far as to taunt her with his friends. Yor had warned Anya not to resort to violence, so in the face of humiliation, Anya forces a smile, a sign of maturity. However, her fake smile catches the attention of a classmate, Becky. Becky is impressed by Anya's ability to remain composed in the face of adversity and decides to befriend her. On the other hand, Damien is infuriated by Anya's smile and continues to tease her relentlessly. Unable to bear the teasing any longer, Anya finally loses her cool and strikes Damien. Damien's cries grab the teacher's attention, and Anya ends up being punished with a Tonitrus bolt. In this academy, students who accumulate 8 Tonitrus bolts are expelled the following day. Faced with this dire consequence, Twilight instructs Anya to apologize to Damien and seek his forgiveness. Anya takes this opportunity to offer a heartfelt apology to Damien, tears in her eyes. Her sincere and lovable demeanor touches Damien's heart, but his pride keeps him from accepting her apology. In an attempt to save face, he refuses to forgive Anya and runs away. The mission to befriend Damien has turned into a resounding failure. With little choice left, Twilight decides to focus on training Anya to become a superior student, hoping this will bring him closer to Desmond. Meanwhile, at the social meeting of superior students' parents, trouble is brewing. An organization from Ostania is actively searching for Twilight, and they have a group of individuals known as the Secret Police whose sole duty is to uncover West Alice spies. To complicate matters further, among the Secret Police is a newcomer with impressive skills, none other than Yor's younger brother, Yuri. Twilight's mission to get close to Desmond has taken an unexpected twist with the arrival of this new formidable threat. Yuri, Yor's younger brother, is determined to ensure her happiness and intentionally conceals his true identity as a member of the Secret Police from her. In return, Yor keeps Twilight at arm's length and avoids any displays of affection, afraid of exposing her connection with him. She constantly urges Twilight to be discreet about their relationship. Yor's nervousness is palpable, but Twilight's primary concern is Yuri's job. Twilight, ever the cunning spy, had already conducted an investigation into the backgrounds of Yor and Yuri. During this investigation, he had stumbled upon evidence that suggested Yuri might be a member of the Secret Police. With this visit from Yuri, Twilight saw an opportunity to confirm his suspicions. Soon enough, Twilight manages to subtly bring up Yuri's role in a conversation and confirms his identity as a member of the Secret Police. During Yuri's visit, he couldn't help but notice Yuri's bashfulness as she briefly touched Twilight's hand. This made him immediately suspicious of their marriage and demanded that they prove their relationship with a kiss. To keep up the charade and prevent Yuri from discovering the truth, Twilight leans in closer to Yor. Yor, who hasn't been in love in a long time, needs a little courage, so she quickly consumes half a bottle of red wine and summons the strength to embrace Twilight. However, she still can't bring herself to kiss him. Unexpectedly, she slaps her brother away when tries to intervene, showing her brother that she's genuinely fond of Twilight. After this dramatic incident, Yuri leaves, none the wiser about their secrets. Anya, despite having gone to bed early the previous night, learns about the encounter between the Secret Police and the spy through her telepathic abilities the next day. She regrets missing this intriguing interaction between the two clandestine worlds. One day, Anya hears about a dodgeball tournament where winning the MVP will earn her a Stella Star. Eager to collect the necessary stars for her school, she pleads with Yor to help her improve her dodgeball skills. With Yor's guidance, Anya embarks on a quest to become the dodgeball MVP and bring her one step closer to her goal. While Yor may not be a dodgeball pro, she's confident in her ability to throw bodies into the line of fire. So when Anya asks for help to improve her dodgeball skills, Yor immediately agrees. However, their opponent turns out to be much tougher than they anticipated. On the day of the competition, two classes are facing off. The rules are simple: you have to catch the ball before it hits you or you're out. If the whole team gets eliminated, they lose the game. At one crucial moment, only Anya and Damien remain on the field. Anya stumbles and falls, leaving her vulnerable to an incoming attack. Damien, despite his own desire to win a Stellar Star, instinctively jumps in front of Anya to shield her from the shot. Damien's act of sacrifice ignites Anya's determination, and she decides to take on her opponent using the unique shot she learned from Yor. But in a twist of fate, Anya slips and gets knocked out of the game. Thankfully, the rumor that the winner would receive a Stellar Star turns out to be untrue, leaving everyone empty-handed. Twilight is growing increasingly anxious because Anya didn't earn any Stellar Stars from the dodgeball tournament, and his superior has set a strict 4-month deadline for Anya to accumulate the required 8 stars. Learning that some students can earn stars by volunteering, he takes Anya to the volunteer center, thinking it's a simple task that doesn't require special talents. However, Anya manages to create chaos at the volunteer center, thwarting Twilight's plan once again. But an unexpected opportunity arises when a boy accidentally falls into a pool, and no one notices except Anya, who hears his urgent telepathic cries for help. To cover her telepathic abilities, she tells Twilight that she can earn the stars by winning a swimming competition and then bravely jumping into the water to save the drowning boy. However, as a young child, she's not physically capable of saving him. It's Twilight who ultimately jumps in and rescues them both, skillfully hiding Anya's telepathic talents. Anya earns a Stellar Star for her courageous and righteous behavior, which is highly coveted by all the students at the academy. The quest for Stellar Stars continues as the unique family dynamic faces new challenges and adventures. After the incident at the swimming competition, Anya faces hostility from her classmates who spread rumors that she orchestrated the accident herself, which deeply upsets her. However, Damien stands up for her when he overhears someone talking behind her back, and this act of chivalry changes Anya's perspective on him. Becky, on the other hand, is more focused on how to help Anya leverage her Stellar Star for rewards from her parents. Anya learns that Damien has a dog and sees it as an opportunity to get closer to him to assist Twilight in his mission. She approaches her family with the idea of getting a dog. They have been contemplating how to reward Anya, so they agree to her request. They venture to a mysterious, brooding warehouse housing many dogs, and Twilight's unique family situation catches the attention of one of the dogs. It becomes apparent that this is not an ordinary dog. Lately, Twilight's frequent absences and the arrival of a dog in the family stir up neighborhood gossip, sparking speculations that something may be amiss in the life of the elusive spy. Twilight's concerns grow as he realizes that maintaining a low profile is crucial for a spy. He attempts to blend in and act like a typical family man, taking his family to Ocean Park on his day off. Coincidentally, some of his neighbors also happen to be at the park, closely observing his family from a distance. At this critical moment, Twilight receives an urgent mission. He learns that Ostenia has the formula for chemical weapons concealed within a penguin at the park and must intercept the information before it falls into the wrong hands. The challenge is that there are numerous penguins in the park, making it difficult to identify the one carrying the crucial data. Just when Twilight is feeling overwhelmed, Anya, using her telepathic abilities, reads Twilight's mind and senses that a penguin has something stuck in its body. She discreetly hints to Twilight that there is a penguin in distress, choking on an object. Twilight quickly realizes this is the penguin he's looking for, and he comes up with a clever plan. He lies that he's going to buy some items outside the park, and then disguises himself as a keeper to blend in with the penguins, all while keeping a watchful eye on the choking penguin. The mission is now in motion, with Twilight attempting to recover the chemical weapon formula without blowing his cover. Twilight locates the penguin that Anya had mentioned and starts the process of extracting the information. However, he is confronted by a man posing as a professor from an institute. The imposter presents a business card and claims that he will take the penguin for experiments, acting like an experienced spy. Twilight quickly identifies the business card as a forgery, realizing that the supposed professor is also a spy. As his ruse is exposed, the spy tries to flee, but Twilight, in his disguise, can't pursue him. However, Anya, who witnessed the confrontation, grabs the spy's clothes and raises the alarm, shouting that the man is kidnapping a child. Yor, acting swiftly, catches up to the man and delivers a well-placed kick that sends him soaring to the ceiling. As the dust settles, Twilight retrieves the chemical weapon formula from the penguin and gets some valuable information from the exposed spy, successfully completing his mission. To maintain his cover as a loving father, Twilight presents a large penguin doll to Anya as a souvenir. Anya becomes enamored with the penguin doll and starts playing games with it, imitating Twilight's spy operations. Twilight isn't too concerned, thinking it's just a phase influenced by her love for spy cartoons. Anya, inspired by her father's adventures, asks to explore Twilight's room. However, Twilight panics, fearing that his room contains incriminating spy equipment that could expose his true identity. When Anya is scared and starts crying, he decides to take Yorm and Anya to play a spy game on the street to cheer her up. During their street adventure, Anya performs exceptionally well, and Twilight can't help but feel proud. To reward her, Twilight and Yor decide to fulfill Anya's wish and purchase a pet dog for her. They visit a pet shop to select a dog, but all the dogs there appear fierce, which doesn't suit Anya's preference for a cute dog. Just as they're about to leave, Twilight receives an urgent mission and abruptly departs. The spy organization he works for has captured a terrorist, but the boy remains unwilling to reveal information until he sees that the terrorist leader has also been captured. The leader has been blaming all the crimes on the boy, making him feel betrayed. In exchange for revealing the terrorist organization's base and other vital information, the boy volunteers to share details about how the terrorists have trained dogs to carry out attacks on their behalf. But the boy doesn't realize that the leader is disguised by Twilight, whose goal is to drive a wedge between the boy and his organization. Meanwhile, two terrorists are walking with dogs. One of the dogs, a white dog, suddenly rushes out and bites a kid's clothes. It's like the dog's inner conspiracy theorist woke up and thought, I must protect the boy from these shadowy pant-leg conspiracies. Soon a billboard falls. In front of the kid, it turns out that the white dog has experienced secret experiments and it can predict the future now. After saving the kid, it meets Anya and predicts that it will become a member of Anya's family. Anya reads the white dog's mind and thinks, great, now my pet is a fortune teller. Maybe it can help me pick lottery numbers. Meanwhile, Yor is choosing a pet dog when she finds Anya missing. She quickly jumps to the ceiling to scan the whole hall, but still doesn't find Anya. She saw the news before that there are perverts who specialize in kidnapping girls and selling them to remote places. As brides, she fears that Anya was kidnapped and feels so anxious, thinking I should have kept a better eye on her or maybe taught her some ninja moves. To avoid exposing the plan, the leader of the terrorists decides to kill Anya. At this moment, the white dog chews through the rope and rushes out, intending to protect Anya. It's like the white dog decided it was time to channel its inner action movie hero, Bite Hard, the Canine Chronicles. At the critical moment, a phone call attracts all the terrorists' attention, saying that the spy organization has found out their base and they have to leave as soon as possible. It's like the universe decided to drop a convenient distraction right into their laps. Maybe it was a telemarketer offering terrorist insurance. The white dog seems to have predicted the phone call so long ago, taking Anya to escape from the warehouse when the terrorists don't pay attention to them by reading the white dog's mind. Anya knows it also has superpower just like her, so she commands the white dog to run to Yor, and she asks for help from the passersby at the same time. But they all think Anya is playing a game and don't offer help because the white dog is too old. The terrorists quickly catch up with him. It's like trying to get help from a neighborhood of dog-loving skeptics who believe white dogs only chase tennis balls. Luckily, Yor hears Anya shouting for help and follows it. Finally, she finds them. She shows her expertise as a killer, kicking a terrorist away and finally saving Anya. It's like Yor was channeling her inner superhero, Kung Fu Nanny, to save the day. Yor's arrival makes Anya feel safe. Anya hides in Yor's arms with ease and cries. At this moment, the leader of the terrorists orders the brown dog to attack Yor. But Yor is so powerful that the dog is too scared to attack her. It's like the brown dog suddenly realized it was way out of its league and thought, maybe I should have attended more self-defense classes. The leader can only leave his man aside and flee with the dog to stay with Anya. Yor doesn't chase after the leader. After that, she calls the police with a public telephone, lying that she saw someone unconscious with an intention of letting the police deal with the terrorist. When Yor makes her call, the white dog is predicting the future, and Anya also sees it. By reading the dog's mind, it shows that at 5 o'clock p.m. there will be a great explosion nearby the clock tower, and Twilight will die from it. Anya feels so anxious and wants to stop it from happening, but she knows if she tells Yor about it, her superpower will be exposed. So she decides to leave Yor alone, leading the white dog to the clock tower. When Yor hangs up the phone, it's too late for her to catch up with them. At this moment, Anya and the white dog arrive at the clock tower plaza. However, she doesn't know how to read the time on the clocks, so she can't figure out when it will explode. But then she asks a nearby man about the time and knows the predicted explosion will happen in 30 minutes. It's like Anya thought, time is ticking, and so is that bomb. She hurriedly looks for the leader of the terrorists everywhere with the white dog, and then she finds the leader and the brown dog just left the house. She quickly hides around the corner to avoid being exposed, but the brown dog smells their scent and intends to tell the leader. However, the leader is anxious to leave the scene and doesn't notice Anya and the white dog. By reading the leader's mind, Anya knows the house is one of his bases, and he has planted a bomb in the house with the intention of killing those who figure out his bases. It's like a real estate agent's worst nightmare. Spacious 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom base with explosive features, perfect for all your hideout needs. After the leader and the brown dog leave, Anya and the white dog rush to the house. According to the predicted future, as long as someone opens the door, the bomb will explode. To avoid the explosion, she climbs through a small window with her petite figure and intends to defuse the bomb herself. It's like a high-stakes game of Operation, but with way more at stake. She learned how to defuse the bomb from the television before, knowing that it will work if she cuts a blue wire or a red wire. To her surprise, there are only black wires on this bomb. Now Anya can only tell Twilight about the bomb without revealing her superpower. Soon after, he finds the secret police also come to the house. So he decides to leave some warnings and takes his colleagues away, leaving the bomb to the secret police. By the time it should explode in the prediction, nothing happens. It's like the bomb decided to take a day off and leave the exploding to the professionals. Twilight and Anya successfully resolve the disaster. However, the crisis still exists. Realizing things got rough, the terrorist leader hurriedly drives his car to flee. However, he is so unlucky that he happens to meet Roar, who is looking for Anya everywhere. Yor recognizes him. She then jumps off the flyover and kicks his car, causing him to hit the wall and lose consciousness. It's like Yor decided to deliver a superhero-style beatdown, complete with car-kicking action. After calling the police to report clues about the terrorist leader, she continues to look for Anya. Finally, she meets Anya riding a white dog and Twilight around the corner. Twilight hears what happened from Yor and then reproaches Anya for running about alone, probably thinking, "We can't have you saving the world by yourself, young lady." After making sure that Anya is not injured, Twilight feels relieved. Anya tells Twilight it was the white dog that saved her from the terrorists. Twilight learns from captured terrorists that they have purchased many dogs from the Ostania, which were used as experimental subjects. He realizes the white dog is one of them. Deciding to give it to his organization to successfully take away the white dog, he and his superior co-act a play, saying that the police need to take it for investigation. Anya reads the white dog's mind, seeing that it disappears from the image of her family. And then she shouts that she must adopt it, even saying if they don't allow her to adopt it, she won't go to the academy anymore. Worrying their mission of using Anya to approach Desmond will fail, Twilight and his superior quickly agree. It's like Anya threatened to go on a school strike until she got her way, and they couldn't risk her dropping out of spy school. Since then, the white dog has been a member of Anya's family. Later, she walks the white dog with Twilight. When they return home, Anya ties a black bow to the white dog and names it Bond. Perhaps as a nod to the famous spy, James Bond, or maybe she just thought Bond sounded like a cool doggy name. After that, Bond learns many skills under Anya's training. When Anya is tired, she lies on Bond and sleeps. Seeing this warm scene, Twilight and Yor smile at the same time. It's like a heartwarming family movie where the dog becomes the glue that holds them all together. Meanwhile, Anya intends to approach Damien again with Bond as a topic. She makes a model of Bond during a craft class, hoping to attract Damien's attention. However, Damien thinks Anya's model is too ugly and ignores her to concentrate on making his own model. Damien has not been cared about by Desmond since he was a child, and he hopes to make gorgeous models to gain Desmond's attention. Anya learns his thoughts by reading his mind and offers to help him make the model, but he soon regrets accepting Anya's help because her craft is so bad that their work looks terrible. It's like a crafting catastrophe that makes you appreciate the value of store-bought gifts. Damien is angry and doesn't calm down until he returns home. Previously, he was beaten by Anya at school, but Desmond didn't care, so it was obviously unrealistic to attract Desmond's attention with a model. He is determined to become an Imperial Scholar with 8 Stella Stars like his brother, believing that this is the only way to make Desmond care about him. For which Damien decides to study hard for the upcoming midterm exams. Damien's quest for attention takes a scholarly turn as he sets his sights on academic excellence to finally earn his brother's approval. There will be 4 subjects in the midterm exam. Students are punished with a Tonitrus Bolt for each failure. Damien's goal is to get good score on the exam and earn a Stella Star. As for Anya, she can be happy as long as she doesn't get the Tonitrus Bolt. Anya's original plan is to cheat in the exam with her superpower, which has a flaw that it will lose effect on the day of the new moon. Coincidentally, the midterm exam will be held during the new moon, and Anya can only ask her parents for help to improve her grades. For this reason, Yor invites Yuri, who had excellent grades in school, to tutor Anya. However, after tutoring for a day, Anya remembers nothing. Yuri eventually breaks down and leaves. Unwillingly, Anya clenches her fists and returns to her room to study alone, deciding to pass the exam by her own efforts. Soon, the midterm exam comes, and after completing all the exams, Anya is very confident. Twilight, however, is unsure of Anya's performance. It's a classic tale of studying under the moonlit struggle. He infiltrates Eden Academy disguised as a teacher, intending to manipulate Anya's scores. Later, Twilight sees a suspicious man outside the building where the exam papers are stored. The man's name is Daybreak, a rookie agent who dreams of becoming a well-known agent. Daybreak receives a commission from Damien's enemies to lower Damien's grades. He is so amateur that he is almost discovered by security guards several times during his infiltration into the building. Twilight, worrying that Daybreak will catch the guards' attention, has been secretly clearing the traces left by him before entering the archives. Daybreak is asked for identification by a security guard, but as an agent, he did not even prepare identification in advance. Seeing that he is about to be suspected by the security guard, Twilight quickly walks out with forged credentials in his hand, falsely claiming that it was dropped by Daybreak, and then enters the archives with him. Daybreak is so clueless that he doesn't suspect Twilight at all. It's like a comedy of errors in the world of espionage. After knocking Twilight out of the door of the archives, he enters the archives to manipulate Damien's grades and even wants to leave his name on the exam papers to improve his reputation. In fact, Twilight just pretends to be knocked unconscious, and when Twilight notices Daybreak's silly move, he can't help but stop it. It's a case of spy versus newbie spy with a dash of comedy thrown in for good measure. Secret agents usually worry about their identities being exposed, but in order to increase his fame, Daybreak asks Twilight to spread today's event and then leaves. Twilight, shocked by Daybreak's stupidity, hastens to change Damien's scores back to prevent him from being expelled from school due to poor grades. After all, without Damien, Twilight cannot approach Desmond. Immediately after Twilight finds Anya's test paper, he is surprised to find that Anya has passed all the exams, and he is inexplicably a little happy when the results are officially announced. He pretends to sternly blame Anya for just slightly passing every subject because he doesn't want Anya to be too proud. However, Anya reads Twilight's thoughts and smiles triumphantly. The most unlucky person in this incident is Daybreak. Damien earns a Stella Star with excellent grades in the midterms, causing Daybreak to fail to receive commissions, but with his IQ, he can't figure out what was wrong with his actions. It's a comedy of espionage errors, with Twilight managing to save the day while Daybreak's plans go hilariously awry. Soon, the students are busy doing the homework assigned by the teacher, which requires them to research a profession and write a report about it. Anya intends to investigate her parents' occupations. When she asks Yor about her work, she is frightened after she reads the exciting scene of the killer performing the task in Yor's mind. So she decides to abandon the investigation of Yor and asks Twilight instead to cooperate with her to complete her homework. In this mission, Twilight disguises himself as a doctor. He takes Anya to the hospital where he works and introduces her to the doctor's work, asking Anya to take notes while listening. But Anya's visit to the hospital catches the attention of another spy, Nightfall. Nightfall is Twilight's colleague lurking in the hospital with him. Nightfall has always loved Twilight and fantasized about marrying him one day. Anya's appearance makes Nightfall interested in Twilight's family. She inquires about his family situation from her boss, Sylvia, and is determined to replace Yor as Twilight's wife. When Nightfall arrives at Twilight's home, she claims to be Twilight's colleague and comes to return Anya's belongings left at the hospital. Twilight is puzzled by the appearance of Nightfall, and Yor, completely unaware of Nightfall's true identity, treats her warmly. By reading Nightfall's mind, Anya learns of her purpose, worrying that Twilight will make Nightfall her new mother. It's a blend of espionage, family dynamics, and a touch of romantic comedy, all wrapped up in a school project gone awry. Anya hurriedly acts cute to Yor, intending to prove to Twilight that Yor is a good mother. Twilight can't help but smile when he sees Anya's actions. The smile shocks Nightfall. She is intimately familiar with Twilight's personality and has seen his fake smiles countless times but never seen him smile so sincerely. Realizing that Twilight considers Anya and Yor his real family, Nightfall feels lost and finds an excuse to leave his house. But Nightfall is not one to give up easily. She quickly adjusts her mentality and plans to seize Twilight's love again. Recently, she and Twilight happen to be on a new mission together, which requires them to obtain an important document. According to intelligence, this document was housed by a general in his art museum before his death. During his lifetime, the general held a tennis tournament with many officials to make money by manipulating the results of the tournament. The tradition of holding this tournament has been kept until now. The winner of each tennis tournament is able to choose a collection from the general's art gallery at will. In order to obtain the collection, Nightfall and Twilight form a team to participate in the tennis tournament. Nightfall believes that she must prove her ability to work in front of Twilight so that she can attract his attention. So she practices her tennis skills desperately during these days, while Twilight has also been practicing tennis for a long time recently. Later in the competition, they work together to defeat two famous players in the first match, attracting the attention of the officials on the spot. Officials do not want them to win the race, so while Twilight and Nightfall enter the changing room, they secretly send poison gas into the changing room that can damage their bodies. When Twilight and Nightfall sense the gas and intend to escape, they find the door locked and can only hold their breath until the next match starts. They finally get out of the changing room. It's a suspenseful turn of events as Twilight and Nightfall face a life-threatening situation while competing in the tennis tournament, and the battle for Twilight's attention takes a back seat to their struggle for survival. Even in these difficult situations, Twilight and Nightfall still defeat many opponents. Just when they think they can win the game, officials set traps against them on the field. These cheating tricks make Twilight and Nightfall harder to move nimbly. Soon they find a way to avoid the traps and are back at the advantage in the game. At this time, Twilight notices that a security guard shoots at the Nightfall and hurriedly blocks it. Fortunately, Twilight wore a bulletproof vest in advance and is not harmed. To avoid being shot again, he and Nightfall move so fast around the arena, making it impossible for their opponents to judge their position. Finally, they win the game and become the champions of the tennis tournament. According to intelligence, the important document they are looking for is hidden in a painting in the art gallery. As soon as the competition ends, they choose that painting as a prize. Officials know the painting is important and decisively reject them. Twilight can only make an excuse to leave and then infiltrate the museum disguised as an art museum staff. While officials are picking out other collections with Nightfall, he replaces the real one with a forged painting. Nightfall picks a random piece of the collection and hurries out of the gallery. With Twilight, they finally complete their mission, but Nightfall is not happy at all. Twilight doesn't have a crush on her for her excellent workability, but only praises her as a good spy. When Nightfall walks Twilight home in disappointment, she sees Yor and Anya playing tennis, eager to prove that she is better than Yor. In front of Twilight, she offers to compete with Yor. Unaware of Nightfall's true intentions, Yor happily agrees. When Yor serves, the tennis ball is directly smashed by Yor's strong force, and Nightfall suddenly has a sense of foreboding. Immediately afterward, Yor weakens her power, but her ball directly smashes Nightfall's racket, causing Nightfall to lose the game. Though wanting to cry, Nightfall doesn't want others to see her tears, so she drives away with an excuse. Once again, Nightfall's plan to take Twilight's love fails. Yor still detects Nightfall's intention, though she is dull. She has long had a crush on Twilight and her relationship with him, and she worries that Nightfall will replace her as Twilight's wife. Twilight senses Yor's abnormality and realizes that Nightfall's appearance brings trouble to Yor. He entrusts Sonia to a colleague and takes Yor to the bar to talk, guessing that Twilight intends to announce that she will be replaced by Nightfall. Yor is nervous and can't help but drink a few more drinks. When Yor gets drunk, she becomes bold. Before Twilight can finish his words, she confesses her love to him first. As a result, she is too nervous to fully express herself. Judging from Yor's nervousness and intermittent statements, Twilight guesses that Yor has fallen in love with him. So he decides to take the opportunity to appease Yor under the pretext of being a real couple and prevent her from reporting him. When Yor heard Twilight's words, she becomes confused and uncontrollably kicks Twilight unconscious. When Twilight wakes up, he is lying on Yor's laps. He mistakenly thinks that he has been rejected and quickly explains what he just said. At the same time, he asks Yor to continue playing his wife and Anya's mother because during the time they spent together, he finds that no one is better suited to this family than Yor. Yor's worries are completely dispelled, and she promises to continue to cooperate with him and be the hostess of the house. After lifting Yor's misgivings, Twilight begins to focus on his own spy operations. He has heard that the Eden Academy's social gathering is about to begin, which is the only event Desmond will attend publicly. Twilight's goal is to probe the military intelligence of Ostenia through Desmond. However, only students who receive 8 Stella stars are eligible to bring their parents to the social gathering. Anya has now only been given 1 Stella star, and Twilight can only enter Eden Academy first to find a chance to get close to Desmond. He is so lucky that he soon got a chance from Desmond's son, Damien. Twilight approaches Damien as Anya's father and apologizes in front of Desmond for Anya hitting Damien as soon as the social gathering ends. Desmond is attracted by Twilight's behavior and takes the initiative to ask Twilight about the situation. Twilight successfully talks to Desmond, even talking about parenting experiences. In this conversation, Twilight not only makes a preliminary analysis of Desmond's personality, but also makes Desmond remember his name. The experience gives Twilight confidence and he begins to plan his next move while Anya is sleeping at home. Perhaps only loved children don't have to try hard to ask for praise. Well, Season 1 is finally calling it quits, so tell me who's your absolute fave from this wild anime roller coaster? And if you're already daydreaming about Season 2, then make sure you hit that subscribe button for Anaseko because we'll be back faster than you can say senpai with a whole bunch of anime sprinkled with extra spices. Until then, feast your eyes on these anime gems and savor the flavors of Season 1.